Hey there, I'm Paul. I operate Days Walk Farm on Wurundjeri Country, Keilor. Now what I'm standing on is dirt. It's the farm track, compacted, driven on by the tractor continuously. No life. Unfortunately, like a lot of soils or dirt around the place. Then let's step into a certified organic, very looked after field, and here we've got soil. So it's been decompacted, had cover crops. I can slide my knife or fork in there, no resistance, like a penetrometer test, and it just right down, grows root veggies really well. But back on the dirt, no, not going to happen at all.
Hello, my name is Alex Morano. I'm a chef and gardener at my restaurant Bar Midland in Castlemaine, which is on Jarrah Country. I'm out today in the Chewton bushlands at a friend's property. Just gives you a bit of an idea of an area where murnong still grow on. I've had a bit of a dig around this morning, but I can't find any. But generally in spring when the flowers are up, you can definitely see that they are growing here. I've tried to cultivate this at home by transplanting the tuber, but I haven't had that much luck. Like, it's survived for a year and then after that hasn't. Saying that, I've been keeping in the ground to try and multiply, but going forward I'm going to try raising from seed. One of our suppliers, which is appropriately called Murnong Mamas, there on Mount Alexander or Leanganuk, so about halfway down Leanganuk, so probably about 5 k's from here. They planted a murnong patch probably about 4 or 5 years ago, but they've had a lot of trouble. Understandably, the kangaroos really like it, and they haven't got it to a food crop yet by any means. They've only just trialled it. But because of the kangaroo population and how much they eat, they're nowhere near be able to produce it for like any sort of commercial or retail market. So it's an ongoing struggle for them. A lot of their other bush foods are working really well, but murnong is one of the biggest challenging things. I'm at my market garden in Chewton. I'm allocating about a 10 by 10 square metre kind of native bed to local bush foods, and what I am trying to do is grow murnong amongst lots of other bush foods in that bed, and protect it from kangaroos, particularly for the first 3 or 4 years. So we'll keep on working on that, but at that stage we only have a little skerrick of murnong, and obviously not enough to use in any sort of commercial setting.
When people can figure out how to be able to produce murnong, in an economically viable way, restaurants will be the first places to jump on board, particularly obviously fine dining restaurants that, essentially if they've got money allocated for buying, things like truffles, it would essentially go to murnong, and it'd be like a real prize, rare, extremely seasonal thing that they could showcase diners. And of course, and as soon as chefs start using it, particularly, well-known chefs, its profile becomes even more, prominent. And I don't know, down the track, obviously, there's so many untested things, because obviously the sort of equipment you need to harvest and clean and distribute meal if you're going to turn into flour, it's not there just yet. But when it does come, I definitely reckon people interested cooks would definitely be into it. I also see there's also a real possibility for people, just in the same way, you might grow something like strawberries in a pot in the correct soil conditions, particularly for, raising kids or something like that. If you have the opportunity to do something like that, even if you only have a small harvest per year, it's a really cool way of showing children, a native food source that obviously was so important in one time, and really getting it etched into brains as well.